Right.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, no. I can mute you if you want.
No. I had a question, but I'll save it for later. Like panicked.
So, yeah. So, welcome. We're talking about episode 4 of The Last of Us.
4.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Sonia.
Yay! Okay. So yeah, that's basically how I could do it. I don't mind talking about it.
Okay.
I was gifted a nice computer that'll last a bit, but it still has its limits because it is old. It just had a good graphics card. So, what did you think about the episode?
Again, good episode. It was fine. You know what though? It's on the side of a better episode for this season.
When I was watching it yesterday, I actually thought about what your kind of feelings have been about these episodes. Like, I feel like the same. Like, these are all 4 episodes have been solid episodes. I don't think they've really been more than that.
The one with Joel, because of the like emotional. But then if you think about it, right? If you think about last season, for the most part, outside of the standalone episodes, which were either love or hate, it was kind of fine. And then when the episodes that really stuck out, let's put the one-offs aside. It was when they were connecting with other people. And right now it's just like Ellie and Dina, which I super for that. Love watching that relationship grow. I understand that there needs to be like more relationship building. Although I guess not, because Ellie had to get to know Joel. But it's when there's like the human connections that the show really shines, and we haven't quite gotten a lot of that yet.
I have so many what might be controversial thoughts about Dina and Ellie.
We love a controversy, so you have to say.
And should I just get into it in the beginning? I like I've always liked when we were getting the trailers for the game in the game. I was very excited about it. Like, I you know what? I'm somebody. Full disclosure, I'm somebody who can ship anybody on anything, on any show, on any book, on almost anything. There was that one book that I thought it was weird, but I love it.
Do I know the book?
I think we talked about it. It was she recently came out with a new book that I haven't read yet, but I've been meaning to. It was the derelict spaceship one. With it was like a bit of a psychological space horror.
Oh, the not Ghost Station, that's the other one, Dead Space.
Yeah. I felt like the romance was just kind of plopped in there on that one. It was just like, I don't know why this is here. We can move on.
I feel that. I was not about it.
But generally, you got a couple, I'm there for it. Let's do this, right? And up until... Because in the game, it's just impossible.
God,
in the game,
ridiculous.
You can read Ellie's notes, and in her notes, she's talking about how Dina's been feeling sick lately and hope she's okay. Blah 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 blah. And the minute I read that, because Dina's bi, and this seems to be like a trope for bi women characters to me, in my opinion. Is of course she's pregnant, and I hate this storyline. I hate the pregnancy storyline. I absolutely hate it. I think there's nothing in the game or so far in the show that I've absolutely hated, but I hate this. And I think they did it worse in the show. Like, it's not well done in the show at all, because at least in the game, Ellie and Dina were established in some sense for however long they've been traveling, because they hooked up when in the section
beginning
where Joel dies. Like, instead of Jesse and Ellie in the pot farm place, it was Dina and Ellie, and that's where they hooked up.
It was kind of random being like, okay, I'm immune, I'm pregnant, we sleep together, and we're just gonna have a baby, and
we're
Ellie
family planning.
I mean, points and family planning. Points for Ellie for being so chill. I would be like, okay, peace, because I'm an awful person. But I
don't think it's points. I think it's she didn't even have a question about it at all. I'm pregnant. What? Kiss. We're having sex, and all of a sudden, the next morning, we're gonna family plan. Oh, I'm a dad now. I was just I was upset because all this future that I was imagining us having kids and stuff. Like, what? When? A couple weeks ago, however long it took you when you guys were still in the woods, you were like, I'm straight.
But she was hiding from herself.
No, she was. I know, but still. But I'm saying, if you're hiding from yourself, are you family planning with your lesbian crush?
Absolutely. That's like the place where you plan out all of your little no fantasies.
I don't know.
And then you go back to your boyfriend and you're kind of miserable, even though she does love Jesse.
Like, I don't like the speed of it in the show. I don't like the buildup of it in the show. Like, I didn't like it in the game, but I think they did it better with how they developed Dina and Ellie. And I just think it was worse done here, which is frustrating because I didn't like it to begin with. And I'm not a fan of instant family.
No, that's not true, because Farscape, there's so many shows where they're
not instant family.
I guess it's more found family. You're right.
It's found family, and it builds through the years. Like, these are 22 episode seasons. Farscape was like,
bring back 22 episode seasons.
Oh my god, please. Do you know? Like, can you imagine X-Files? X-Files would be infinitely worse if it was a 10 episode show. Like, the best episodes of X-Files wasn't the alien conspiracy. It was the offshoots, the blood, do you remember there's that vampire one that was super, like, the Mulder and Scully buildup was through those off episodes, not the alien conspiracy ones.
And arguably the best episodes of any show are the Monster of the Week episodes, which they really can't do with the new TV format.
No.
Because every episode has to mean something. And it's like, no, give me the stupid monster episode where nothing happens and I can hee-hee.
And I just don't think, you don't get that kind of natural character development that you would with those, like, little off episodes. Oh, damn it.
And I guess we get hints of that, but like in The Last of Us, we can have the Ellie and Dina are out in the field and being very dumb episodes. And it could just be the wild hijinks of two it's not teenagers, young adults being dumb in a post-apocalyptic world. And they would be so funny. And then, we would feel it.
Oh man, can you imagine this show if we had time to settle in Jackson? Or even Seattle for Abby? Because this is the second episode she hasn't been in either. Also, I would like to...
and I want...
Go ahead. Mine was just a joke.
I just want my... you sounded so serious. I just want my solo Abby episode.
I don't know. So I don't know if we're going to. I was editing another short for the Eugene theory, and I had to edit so much of me because I'm just a pausing, rambling mess. I'm trying not to do that here, but I don't think I can help it. But I'm wondering, I expected Abby in this episode, especially if we're getting the intro to the wolves, but I'm wondering if we're not, just to separate her from it all. Whereas
Isaac.
she's very involved. Or we don't know. Maybe she's not involved. That would be weird. I don't see how she would have time to just run off to Jackson if she didn't have some sort of in with Isaac. So, but I was surprised we didn't see her here. And I'm wondering if they're just trying to not have her so attached to what Isaac's doing.
I don't really see them. There wasn't really room for Abby because, and that's the hard part about all of this, right? And what we chat about offline is how do they fit everything in? And right now, okay, so we have the wolves. She's part of the wolves. That needs to be explained. How do you explain that through Isaac? How do you add Abby into that without taking away from Isaac's focus a little bit? And we need to know, we need this information about Isaac. Like, I actually loved how he was introduced. I think it was such a good introduction for the character, but also such a good introduction for what this entire season is about.
Yeah, Isaac, I thought that was an excellent change because in the game, he wasn't part of Fedra. That's a new thing, but I loved it because of, so you see him when he's introduced, he's telling, very disgruntled with Fedra, obviously, telling them about how people started getting called voters, and it's because we took away their rights to vote, and it's just basically a way to dehumanize them and make fun of them, right? And he's like, says it with such disgust that even like the little douchebag guy that's telling his stupid little story is like, oh yeah, I didn't mean anything by it. He's like, of course you didn't, because you're thoughtless. And then you juxtapose then you juxtapose that with him torturing the Seraphite, and he's like, where the Scar is gonna attack, and Seraphite being tortured is like Seraphite, and he scoffs, and he's so dismissive of it. He's become exactly what the reason he became WLF is what he's turned them into.
Okay, that's a grim cameo, and that's the point that I was making. It's like that this is the season. Like, how do you not in this world, like, how do you not lose the part of yourself that you were trying to protect?
I think that is the season, right? Everybody, Abby, when she was with Joel, was being all like high and mighty. We had a code. It's like, is this your code? These are your people.
Which kind of makes me think, like, how long did it take them to get to Jackson? Like, but their code can't fall apart. Like, Isaac's code can't fall apart in a matter of weeks and months.
I think
and then you see, you go, then I go.
I think it'll be such a cop-out if they have Abby unknowing about what the WLF is doing.
That would be a disservice to a character, I think.
Yeah, it would be such a cop-out, and no, don't do that. Please, show, don't do that.
Especially because they are setting it up so much. Like, even we have the naive, innocent guy from the beginning. I don't know if we ever caught his name.
I looked it up because he was so good. His name, and also, I don't know if you noticed, I knew he was going to be a little bit more. I'm sure he'll be in there later too, because he was the only other one other than Isaac in that truck that had a name tag that said something.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
But his name, I looked up on IMDb. His name is Burton, the character. And the actor is Ben Ehlers. He did a very good job.
Ben Ehlers. He really did.
Doe-eyed innocent boy who, I think it's weird that he wouldn't know why they're called voters, since I'm assuming he grew up in Fedra to join it. But either way,
but we have seen that there are communities kind of outside of Fedra that maybe they got pulled in, or maybe he grew up in them and then like went to Fedra. But he also didn't seem that much younger. Like if he's just like coming up in the ranks, like he looked kind of on par age-wise. So
he did with like the douche guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did love seeing like Isaac. I already forgot Burton.
Yeah, Burton.
Whatever his name is. Like all of this empathy, this dude who hasn't lost touch with his humanity, and then he's a shell of a human being outside of that door.
Such dead eyes. So good. Like he was real. I don't know if I should make that joke. I was gonna say, I'm gonna make it. He was really channeling Mr. Beast there.
The smile.
The dead eyes, right? Like, but he was so, like, I don't even, like, it's like, you're just, like, I want to know, like, the acting of that. Like, are you just staring off into space and it just looks like you're, like, not there? Because he was just totally not there. But also, I think it's weird that he's just kind of like Isaac's little personal bodyguard or something. Like, he's been with him these past 18 years and that's how he's risen. Is the same.
Maybe he just happens to be stationed at the door. Who knows?
I mean, or it's just like logistics of the show, right? We need to show what has happened.
It was definitely logistics of the show. Yeah. Just like trying to put it into TV show logic. Like they just needed to make the point that these, and I think we talked about it a lot on Two Fireflies in a Pod, where there's really no way, Jackson kind of excluded, but who knows where like Jackson is in their journey of it. It feels like you reach a point and then it's the tipping point. Like it's either you, and I guess we're seeing it in Jackson now with like, they mentioned refugees and like they need to build faster because they're not letting people in. So they're not letting people in. They're starting to think about Jackson and who they already have. The problem
is they are letting people in, which is why they have to build
and they just have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought like they had like a little, like their people were waiting. But like how much of that can you do before your society starts imploding? Or you have to cut it off and then think about yourself. And then when you start thinking about yourself, like what is the pipeline of becoming like Isaac?
Well, I think it depends on like what is your goal. Like we talked about this before about how like nobody is really that was unfortunate. That was really unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Nobody's really a hero here, right? Like, the Fireflies aren't heroes. Like, I don't know how much we'll get into it on the show about, like, the things they did to get to where they could get Ellie in the first show. In the first game, season, whatever you want to call it, right? Like, you know, if you weren't with Fireflies, you're kind of against them too. They weren't really, they're so busy trying to save society that they weren't really kind of caring about saving innocents, is my impression of Fireflies.
It's like you're paying attention to the group, but you're ignoring the people.
Right. And so I think what makes Jackson unique is they're not trying to reestablish a society. They're just trying to maintain their community. I think if they try to do it outside of Jackson, that'll be different. And, you know, that's not saying that Jackson can't turn, because they absolutely can. You can do a mini dictatorship in your own little town. Like, that's absolutely possible. You know? But I think...
And it all just shows, like, I think all of this shows, like, the point that we were making, where, like, if the Fireflies did have the vaccine, this episode proves that a vaccine at this point, last season, this season, it's not a magical cure-all, fix-all for where the world has become, what the world has become. Because the us versus them mentality, like, how do you start unraveling that?
Right, and the thought that I know better, I know how to do these things right, and I know how to make this correct. Like, what government are you going to reform?
Or even how do you let go of your previous resentments? We see that with Isaac and the Sarah fight too, where they start to go down that cycle of violence where like, well, I killed you because you killed me. Yeah, but you killed my kids. Yeah, but you're training your people to kill my kids.
Yeah, like,
it's this
first of all,
unbreakable
Isaac,
cycle.
we saw what you did with kids. Let's not bring that up.
Right.
Yeah, I think, and also, like, at this point, everybody's so spread out. So you have this vaccine, and everybody that can get the vaccine has to join you. Like, is that the case? Or are you just going to give it out? Who are you going to give it out first? Your own people, right? So then how do you decide who deserves this? Like, assuming you can make it even on a mass scale, which, whatever, that's one of those things where you kind of have to suspend the logic of, well, let's just assume that they can do this. Otherwise, the argument about whether or not Joel was wrong or right is moot. Like, you just have to assume they can.
It's a moot argument to begin with, in my opinion.
Yeah, but, you know, what I see online is like, well, Neil said that they could have, like, and that's just it. So, you know, we have to assume that they could have. And it's like, okay, fine. They could have. But what would they have done with that power? Would they have just given it to everybody? Would they have given it to Fedra? Not given it to Fedra, but like allow Fedra
like
soldiers.
The people.
Yeah. But they'd first have to surrender, which whatever. But then who's taking over? Like, what the communities that Fedra was under, Fedra, are you taking over? Then how you control? Like, it's just this ongoing cycle of like everybody's so spread out. Like, how are you going to spread? Like, what is your plan here other than this will solve everything? When I think it solves nothing anymore other than
I don't think Neil's right. I don't think they could have mass produced it.
No, I don't think they could have made it. Like, if you want to be realistic about it, but it's a TV show, whatever. I don't think they could have made it, but like assuming they could and assuming they can mass produce it or whatever, how you bring everything is so insulated and isolated, and the earth, not the earth, at least in the United States, but this is worldwide, we saw from the pilot episode, everything, how are you gonna get it to Indonesia?
Even level though, people are too petty. Petty, and that's what I love about this show. People are just too petty. If I have something that's a big resource and it keeps me in a position of power, like once you have power, we see it play out in our own governments and lives right now. Once you have the slightest bit of power, you don't give it back. And I don't see a world where people don't like hold on to that.
Yeah, and I don't see the Fireflies as being the people who would just not give it up. I mean, who would just give it up. Like, I don't think their goals are altruistic. Even if they say it's for like the ultimate good. Like, fine, whatever. I think the world is better off if they have a cure, obviously. But it's the whole you've ruined humanity is just an argument that I do not agree with in the little bit, and I don't really see how you can make it at this point in the apocalypse. We are in the post-apocalypse. We are not in the apocalypse.
Even taking like Isaac and the Sarah fight, again, don't know their name, don't know the actor's name, but holy shit, did they act in that scene too. The torture scene. You're really going to give, okay, so you give both of them a vaccine. You really think they're going to start getting along? Like, you really think they're going to start having peace because they have a vaccine and no, like, it's at this point, like, the virus is just there. It's part of the human landscape. And I really think people are just caught up in their own bullshit too much.
I need to read stuff for codes. Yeah, I don't think Yeah, like, are they just gonna give it to Isaac? Like, if this succeeded, would they just have given it to Isaac? No. I don't.
It's very cool though that they finally got a voice actor to play the role.
Oh, yeah. But he's a very good actor. I loved him in Westworld.
His voice too is just like, keep talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Keep threatening me.
And he does. He's so good at just being the character, like just completely like. Isaac was a man who was this, like I just completely buy Isaac's journey, even though it was 2 seconds long.
The buy-in happened immediately.
And I don't know. I thought the whole Isaac section was done extremely well. It might have been, no, I don't know if it was one of my favorites. Like I also thought the TV station, and I thought the TV station was done well. I enjoyed a lot of the red subway.
Yes.
But I was a little bit disappointed about how quick it was and how much Ellie and Dina had nothing to do with it.
I expected a little bit more. Before we go into the Red Room, I will say that I appreciate the fact that I like the way that they blend action and storyline a lot more this season, where there really hasn't been an episode where we don't get a fairly good action sequence. And I think standalone, it was really good. I've been better at you tonight of not saying in the game, but in the game, this was probably one of the most heart-pounding, chaotically running around, standing up, kind of semi-screaming moments for me. And I know that's a universal experience, so to see that,
the red subway or the TV show?
Yeah.
Or TV station?
The red subway.
Yeah. And I just wish, the thing I would have changed about the red subway is, the two things I would have changed about the red subway is, one, I never would have got rid of the spores, because I think that was a superior way of Dina finding out than the bite. Because I'm like, we've done this like 7 times now.
It made for a better character relationship moment for them.
Yeah.
Show-wise, but
I don't know show-wise. I thought it was more dramatic in the game. Because I don't know. No, in spoilers, whatever, in the game, Dina's mask got cracked. Ellie gave her the mask. Like, I think that's just that whole situation, the panic of Dina because her mask was cracked. Ellie, you can see that Ellie was making the decision. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm gonna stick my arm out. She's like,
she made the lot.
She's making a choice, and they also had to have that moment of, I'm okay. I'm like, I guess you would have missed the moment, which I didn't. I didn't hate it in the theater where Dina was, because the actress did an excellent job. She did an excellent job of holding that gun to Ellie. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed the reveal more than in the show. I just thought it was more dramatic. It was more character driven. And I missed the spores. What can I say?
I finally did watch the trailers.
Yeah,
new for me.
I think the spores are back in town.
Yes, and I like the way that they were getting done, but we can save that for the end. So let's get to the TV station.
TV station was like, I don't remember the TV station in the game being that graphic.
It's 100% was that graphic.
Was it? I didn't remember all their intestines hanging.
Yeah, I like distinctly remember like being under them and looking up and like jumping on the things, like trying to get closer to look at them. What a way to just... Oh, I know we were already introduced to the Seraphites and we had the torture scene in that particular character, but what a way...
So far...
And I'm not saying that the Seraphites are worse than the WLF, but like, what a way to just introduce this psychotic group.
I mean, I think the whole point of this... I think the whole point of The Last of Us and, you know, the show is there is no moral high ground, really. Right? It's just the connections that you make and the justifications you
make to keep those people safe.
Right. And, you know, and it's up to like the viewers or the players or whatever to decide if that's enough. But I don't really...
And I guess, yeah, is it if I was a Seraphite, if I was a surviving member of that group that got ambushed in the woods and saw that redheaded girl get killed, would stringing up the wolf members and gutting them be a step too far? I don't know, because you hurt my people, so I'm retaliating. Abby and Joel. There's just so many ways where all of this can be justified.
It's the cycle of violence.
I mean, technically, I think having the whole culty, shave your head, scars on your face thing is a bit too far for me, but who's to say?
I say no. Especially if you're underage. Like, don't do that to kids, man. Let them decide. Let them get old enough.
Right, yeah,
And then they can
18,
decide.
whatever you want to make the adult in a post-apocalyptic world, rite of passage. I just love how they're setting all of this up to be justified, and I know people can't let that go with Abby and Joel, but if we, like you said, if we were following Abby in season 1 in the game, we would have felt so vindicated in that moment, and this show does that so well.
Yeah, that's why I like that they immediately have the sympathy for the Seraphites. Like they're just as people. And the guy in the last episode was talking about how we're just trying to escape the war. So sympathetic. You have this little girl and she just wants to carry her dad's hammer and it's so sweet. And now they're dead bodies. But then you see like, oh no, this is like they're in like a war. This isn't like one side is better than the other. They're both doing shit.
And like imagine trying like the audacity to be like, okay, I'm mad at you for this while I'm going to burn your skin off with some type of fancy frying pan. And then like the audacity of just like, stop shooting us with arrows even though we strung up your people and gutted you. It's such a mind fuck and I'm obsessed.
It's so funny that I'm like, do we like this is how you know that you've turned into a psychopath? Like you're about to torture somebody and you're doing a monologue about how you always wanted these pots when you were younger because you were a good cook and it was a good date thing. It's like, dude,
just Isaac things.
Come on, man. Once you start monologuing like that, you're in villain territory. But I remember...
Still here for it.
Yeah, no. Give me the monologues, Isaac. I'm just saying, like, let's also be self-aware. I think the TV show, like, the TV station, and I felt anxiety in the TV station Red Subway, and I'm wondering if the anxiety I felt is also just remembering what it was like to play those sections. Or was it just that well done? Because I thought it was really well done, and I'm like, I was anxious about it. But then I was also thinking, fuck Dina in this section when I was playing the game. in the TV show station section. Because I swear, because in
scaring the crap out of me.
In the first game, your companion NPCs would run around like chickens with their heads cut off when you're doing stealth. Like you remember the first, not the red subway, but the dark subway in the first game when you had Tess and Ellie.
I was always Tess.
Yeah, it was both of them for me. And then you're running, you're like, okay, I'm gonna, and you see Ellie or somebody running across the screen. But at that point, it was okay because the enemies didn't notice them. But in the second game, they made the enemies more environmentally aware. I forget what words they used for it, but it was like one of those big improvements in the game. So when Dina was running around like a crazy person, when I was stealthing like a boss, which isn't guaranteed for me.
Doesn't happen often, yeah.
She would get me caught by the WLF all the time. I'm like, I could have stealthed this whole thing, man. I was so mad. Like, honestly, as much as I hate the pregnancy story, as long as they have to have her follow me around for the rest of the game, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, you stay here now.
Because
it wasn't overall. I think that like is it choreographing when it's violence? We'll call it whatever. The action sequences are done so incredibly well. I think it was anxiety inducing. I watched with somebody who has not played the game at all, and seeing their physical reaction of like leaning forward, it speaks to how tense it just is. Even if you don't have hours of being in that specific situation game wise.
Well, I mean, Bella and Isabella, I think they really sold the fear of it, and I don't know. Like, you know they're going to get away because it's episode 4, but it was still very well done, and I cheered for the next stab of the Switchblade.
Yes.
My little baby. Like, Ellie's good move.
I get little hints of euphoria when that happens, because it took me forever to build up the courage to make any move while playing. So that, I will say, is Pavlovian in me. The euphoric thrill of the next stabs.
Yeah, it was kind of, I was sad that the red subway wasn't a bit longer. I thought the TV station was an appropriate amount. And I also think this whole thing is, I don't want to say Ellie's not smart, but it's kind of really showing that Dina's smarter.
No, they just approach things completely differently. And I'm going to go as far as to say that I think the red subway was appropriately long. It just kind of goes like that alien isolation where the game is probably 15 minutes long and we think it's a 24-hour game because we spend all of our times hiding in the locker situation. So I think our perception is just a little bit skewed. So I can see that I'm fine with the length of it. I just wanted a little bit more interaction between Ellie and the infected, and even scenarios where they sicked the infected on the wolves. But
that's what I
was
wanted.
satisfied
That's
with
what
it.
I wanted. I wanted more strategy to it. Like, I thought, I guess in the trailer when Izzy, like I know her, when Dina was counting like the clickers or whatever, I thought there'd be more strategy than just run. Like, I thought somebody would throw a brick or a bottle or something toward them. And I think, like, at first I'm getting kind of tired of the floor tentacles.
Same. It's I think so far in every episode, and like just like the dramatic pause they give them. I hate saying like, okay, we get it, but okay, we get it.
Yeah, like,
especially in this scene, I guess like they had the wolves say, "Oh, I thought this was clear. It was clear." But a subway station seems like a perfectly reasonable place where a collection of infected would congregate.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hoped I was hoping for more strategy between them. But you know, I still thought when they were running, I was all in and nervous for them all. So I still think it worked. I just, in hindsight, I'm like, oh man, I wish there was something like they set the WLF up. That would have been cool.
It would have been satisfying.
I don't have the code. Yeah, it's.
And then so it ends with them getting word. They found Nora. That's where we end.
Is it?
Is it not?
Maybe I don't.
It is. So the radio crackles. They said Nora's in blah 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 building, and then
I must
Ellie
have missed
I
missed what the radio said. I thought I heard the radio crackle, and then I think I looked away or something, and then next thing you know, they're like looking out of the horizon or whatever, and then something had exploded.
So they were talking about a building, and they were like, "That's where she is. So that's where they're going." So we're starting to hunt down the wolves, or I get Abby's group.
When do you think Abby's coming back?
I wonder if they're going to keep her away at this point until.
But they have so much to do. Like, no spoilers, but they have so much to do.
It low-key stresses me out because I have no idea how they're going to. I just need to know. My chaotic mind really needs to find a footing with how they're going to tackle everything that's coming. How would she come in the next episode if we're starting Ellie's hunt?
Yeah, I mean, are we gonna need an episode? No Ellie?
Which I'd be fine with.
They cut down on the amount of Abby's crew, right? There's not as many.
But yeah.
So there's the guy that was in the watchtower that has the scar. He was somebody else in the game. But we didn't see his death in the game. The one that got the scar in the game. That was something. That was how we found out something else in the game that I can't say, I don't think. In case it happens in the show.
Well, there's 5, not counting Abby.
I forget where
there were 5 members.
There's
of
Owen,
the crew.
There's Nora, there's the medical
Owen,
girl,
Nora,
Mel, yes.
Nick, Manny,
that's who it is. That's who's but in this show, it's Manny, Nora, Mel, Owen, and Abby.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But in the game, there was a couple more, right?
I think Jordan and Leia. Don't quote me on that.
Also, the other person who Ellie gave the scar to, that wasn't Manny in the game.
And then, so we're following, so we have Isaac now. We have Tommy.
We have Gail.
I guess
we have Eugene. Who's new?
But
well,
I don't think we're necessarily. Well, no. We have flashbacks.
Right.
We have other things that aren't going to be mentioned. I just don't understand, Mike. Like, I'm trusting the process. I just don't understand, and it's freaking me out a little bit, especially because we're about to be halfway done with the season, and even with them separating this into 2 seasons. Holy hell! But maybe we do have an episode or two without Ellie. Who's to say?
Because the reason I thought with the introduction, like the proper introduction of the WLF, would also, and I would also be our intro to Abby after the event, and kind of like seeing how that interacts with each other. But that hasn't happened yet. Because, I don't know. Okay. This is... I don't think this is a show spoiler. It's a game spoiler. In the game, Isaac is torturing somebody as well. Abby is aware of it.
Yeah.
You know, she's not there. Like, she's not participating or anything. But, you know, she's there, kind of. So, I don't know, like, and there's still some, like, okay, like, see, this is hard. Now this is difficult. What's Abby and Owen's relationship in the show?
I think there was enough to suggest that there are hints of a deeper connection. There were looks. There was a reason that she was deferring to him. He was telling the crew how to handle her.
Yeah. I don't know, there's so much to do. Like, there was a whole section in the game of Abby's side afterwards. So, and it was a lot.
Unless, and this doesn't make any sense at all, and I wouldn't necessarily like it, and I'm probably going to take back this thought as soon as it's out, unless they're splitting up the season where this side is kind of Ellie focused and then the next season is kind of Abby focused, and then it all comes together at the end of season 3, which is going to piss a lot of people off, and I don't see how it would work practically. But let's just throw theories at the wall and see what sticks.
I don't know if that kind of, because they already do time flashbacks. And I did look, so I was getting...
And they're already showing Abby.
And they're gonna do Joel and Ellie flashbacks. And I can say this because I did go back to watch the season trailer. To get...
Oh, yeah, I went back. They do. And I think they showed a flashback in the trailer after this episode. Or maybe I'm confusing it with the season trailer.
But, like, to get the Eugene footage and... This is a mess.
This is kind of giving me Alien Isolation vibes. Don't like it.
But so we have those flashbacks that we're definitely getting this season. I can see how it works in a game going back, you know, Seattle day 1. Ellie. Seattle day 1. Because they call it day 1 in the after show thing, but I don't think they did that in the show. And I don't know if it works as well in a TV, like, because then there's still so much to do after you merge the two timelines of what Ellie's doing on day 1 and what Abby's doing on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, whatever.
Yeah,
there's that part, and then, you know, everything after that.
We'll have to. There's really no. I don't think that there's a way we can make sense of their madness. But I can say that I'm excited to see how they are going to do it, because so far this season they really haven't steered me wrong.
I think the only part for me that they steered wrong was the Dina pregnancy and how that was done. But I was always against it anyway. No, might be bias. I think
I'm against it too. I really wish they didn't include it.
I wish they didn't include it, and
But
I just think they did it in a worse way on the show. with how
there's no way to not include it. It
they've-
was such a central part of the game, unfortunately. I just wish it wasn't included in any of The Last of Us.
No, I wish it was out of the
franchise.
game. Like I had some hope last episode when it was like 3 months later, and she's like, "Hey, she would know by 3 months." And then she was like, "Oh no, we hooked up," and I was like, "Dina!"
Don't do it.
I had hope for like 2 seconds, and then it was no. First of all, babies having babies. I know it's the apocalypse, but come on, that's never good. They're both like 19.
And I just, there's something, and I don't know if it's just because like I don't want children but I don't hate kids. I'm around kids all the time, so I don't want to like lump myself into just like I hate kids, man. There's something that I really dislike about this particular trope in media so much. It aggravates me.
You know what it is? For me, what it feels like is, I mean, media in general, any type of fiction, any type of writing, storytelling, it's inherently emotionally manipulative, right? For this, it feels very overt and obvious that they're just trying to raise the stakes. Like I don't think it benefits any of the characters. I don't think it benefits the storyline. Other than being, well, now there's a kid involved. What are you gonna do? Like, I don't know. I think I think you could have had the emotions and, you know, things happening without all that instant family stuff. I just feel like it's so unnecessary. And it feels like you want me to feel a certain way about this whole situation by adding a kid to it.
And I will not.
I refuse. So, I don't know. I just never liked it. I don't like... It made me not like the Dina-Ellie relationship as much. Because it's like...
It puts a bummer on it a little bit. I really like them as a couple. I really like the actresses together.
I like them as a couple when you take out the kid. You know, like, I don't know. It adds a layer to their relationship that I don't think it's been earned in the show or the game. It's, if they had it wouldn't make sense if they had an established relationship, because then Dina would be a cheater.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's ways.
I mean, yeah, there's ways.
Sexuality and relationships are weird, but yeah.
I mean, I guess they could have like done like very, very old school, like, I'm sure like lesbians in the 80s or whatever found a way, you know, turkey baster method or something. I don't really know how much is involved because, like you, I too do not want children. I don't hate children. I have children in my life that aren't mine. But, you know, it's not something I want in my life to be responsible for. And I think it's the first thing in the game or the show that I felt was unneeded, was unnecessary.
Yeah, same.
And I think that just irks.
What did you feel about the trailer? Although I didn't know if it was like a trailer for next episode, if it was just like a trailer for upcoming things.
I'm pretty sure it's because I don't think we saw anything in the last episode trailer that wasn't in this episode, because we had the red room or the red subway and all that.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
you're right. Oh, you know, I'm just gonna hint at something. But did you notice that they went out of their way to mention rats? I meant to rewind and I didn't.
In the trailer?
But that makes me either I don't know if see, now I'm questioning my memory. I don't know if it was in the trailer or like as the show was wrapping up and maybe even like in the subways, but somebody mentioned like a lack of rats or something, and the way I jumped onto that.
Oh, so this. Oh,
I'm gonna go back and tell you what time it was, because it could have just been.
You know what? If we do this for like season 3, I think we should just go full spoilers. Because this is so hard. There's so much I want to say.
There's no rules. These are our rules. But
that's true.
I just had to mention that, and it made me very excited for something. We'll see. Trailer wise, I am so stoked to finally see Spores, and I hope Spores starts to overtake the Roots, whatever we call them.
So I'm thinking about it now. Now we know what's happening in this next section, right? Unless they completely change it, I feel like they have to split Abby and Ellie days. Like, I don't.
But that would be such a weird. I feel like if they were gonna do that, well, I guess they did day one. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just saying. Maybe I'm thinking of like Seattle. They did some type of header for something. But I feel like if you're doing days, you should have started days in the beginning.
Yeah.
But who knows? It's not my show. It's not my show. It's not my rules.
This is the thing, though. Like, I do trust them. I just don't know how they're gonna get there, right? Because I feel like, other than, like, if we ignore the pregnancy thing, I think they've gotten there 99.99999% of the time very competently and well done. You know? I can't see it, because there's so much that happens. And I guess light sports, like, whatever, sorry, you know, maybe 2 other viewers, I don't know. There's so much that happens for Abby for where we're gonna be next episode.
I still have my fingers crossed for a solo Abby episode. I know we're not getting it. I know we're not getting it next episode.
That would have been next episode, right? To get us caught up with Ellie.
By my logic, yes, but this is why I also love that they're changing everything, because I like that we get to speculate and we don't necessarily know what's coming up because we played the game. It just puts everybody on an even level, and it makes the anticipation so much more fun if you knew how everything was coming because you had the roadmap.
I would be curious. I would like to hear from somebody. I don't know. Maybe you can ask Max or somebody. Like, how do you ask this without spoiling it though? Like, how do you feel about the next episode? Yeah, like being like really.
What do you think is gonna happen?
Really intense and weird about it. It's like, what is your problem? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think about Abby's storyline so far?
Yeah, give me your critiques.
Because we know what's going to happen, but we don't, because they can change it. Like, I never really looked into who everybody was casted as in season 2. Like, I don't know if certain characters were casted. All I heard about was Abby. Because that.
Yeah, I try to keep myself out of the loop.
The same. Nobody's ever going to be happy. Like, it's a whole thing in the whole Murderbot community too, about Alexander Sarsgaard being casted as Murderbot. There's a whole issue.
Oh yeah, you were
saying
because he's not androgynous enough.
He's too manly, which I don't know. Like, you don't have that like Reacher guy, you know. But
I haven't read it, so I don't know, and I don't think I'm gonna read it. I think I'm gonna go into the show.
You'll be the blind person.
I'll be the blind person for that one.
So you know, I just season 2 of The Last of Us could really have done with a 22 episode season.
Give me my filler episodes. Give me the monster of the week episodes. Imagine having a monster of the week where it's just a stalker. That would have been great.
I thought there was going to be a stalker this episode when Dina was in the medical thing. I was like, this is where the stalker's going to come. Not the stalker, not the stalker. The wall ones.
Aren't those the stalkers?
No, stalkers are like the little creepy critters, you know, like in when Ellie was
the jumping ones are different?
I think so. I think of them as different. Like the ones that are like just living in the walls until you walk by it.
Oh, I thought those were stalkers because they were just annoying.
The stalkers
and
are always like, if you're in an office building and it's dark, there's gonna be stalkers, and then you see their little heads peek out, and you have to have the shotgun because there's no way to get past them without the stupid shotgun as they rush you. In the way I play, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, that's the only way I get with shotgun.
Pure chaos mode.
Like, I try to be stealthy, like, oh, I'm gonna throw a bottle here, and the stalker's like, were you stupid?
Yeah, I see you.
But no, the wall ones were, I think, new to the in the second game. We're like, and every time we were, because it was kind of obvious about who would be in the walls when, and I would say to myself, okay, just be ready. There's gonna be like a wall one here. And I would still get surprised every single... I had like goldfish memory. I don't know if it was between that, the wall ones, and the stalkers is why I cracked my tooth after the first game. And I had to get a root canal
in this moment
in a cap. Like, it was... Last of Us 2 was very expensive for me. But I don't know if we're gonna even see those.
Well, I'm excited.
No, I'm excited.
I don't know. I'm here. I'm excited.
It's so
watching
good.
The trailer made me pumped.
I'm really excited because I feel like I'm a consumer of television and movies and games, and I generally know how they go. Right? Like, but I feel like this season has, like, I've said it multiple times, like, oh, I don't see how this could happen this episode with this also happening this episode. And like, well, you're wrong. And they do it great. Like the Joel death and Jackson raid.
Yeah.
I was like, that's impossible. They can't do... Okay, they did. And they did it really well.
Yeah, and they did it and claps. Polite claps.
Good job. Good job, Neil and Craig. Good job. So I'm like, I don't see how they can do this, but I'm so interested to see how... Because I do believe that they can pull it off. I just have... It makes me feel so unimaginative not being able to figure out how they can do it.
Oh, mine's the opposite. I have so many different theories of how they can do it and ways they can do it, and I just like don't know which one they can do, and then my mind just starts spiraling.
Well, the ways I think they can do is how they like now that you've said it. Like before I was like, no, it's impossible. They can't do the split thing. But now I'm like, how can they not?
Exactly. It's so fun to speculate. So I'm excited to keep on speculating, and I love that they're keeping me on my toes.
And even if they do it, like, I don't see how it would work in this sort of medium. Especially
Absolutely not, but who's to say?
Right, especially since I still think there's so much story to go. Like, how would you just split it like that while still doing other stuff? But that's why I'm playing somebody else's game and talking about somebody else's show and just waiting for them to do their jobs really well, which I believe they can.
It's so hard to find positive outlooks about this show, and which is wild. It's so wild, but I'm in my corner feeling so excited and just happy to go along with what, like, wherever they take me, I'm there. Like, whatever. Take my hand, lead me, gut me. I'm here.
Yeah, this isn't like a situation where I don't know what shows, like shows that lose your trust. They haven't lost my trust
so far.
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't see how you could possibly do this. But I cannot wait to see how they do.
Same.
But you know what though? I was thinking like if I guess this will kind of close out unless you have something else. I don't really I do like it is weird. Like I'm really excited about what's to come. I think this has been a very solid season. I just don't think it's been more than solid. Like I think they've done individual things excellently. But I don't know, like
there's just that underlining, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
I feel that.
This was
because
done
yeah, overall,
well.
like I would say I hate ratings because I can't like make ratings make sense to me, but I would say the solid 7 out of 10 so far. And that's great though. I'm not mad about it.
No. Like it's not an average show, it's a good show.
And if that's what it is, I'll accept it. I don't need this banger 10 out of 10 show. Would I love it to get there? Sure, absolutely. I probably have some of that, those like rose-colored glasses or whatever about the first season. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm very excited for next episode, and I'm very excited to not know what's happening next episode.
Also, like, here's the thing about adaptations. Like, if you don't like as much as the stuff... Well, I guess I can't get away from Dina pregnancy because that's in both sections. But... you know, overall, like, if you like one better than the other, I can always go back to the game.
Right.
You know. I don't want to because it makes me sad. But I do, you know what?
I think have feelings.
I think what this show has done, like, I have had moments of, oh, I want to do that section again.
I've had moments of, ooh, I do not want to do that again, which is why I'm not replaying it right now. Oh, that's the reason I didn't replay before I started watching again.
I can see a lot of sections that they probably will skip over here, but you know what I kind of want to do for if I was going to replay it, I would want to see, because I don't remember the sequence of events of Ellie's days. Like, when did this happen? Like, when was the red subway is on time, but like when the hospital compared to other places she goes to, like, I don't remember which was first and which was later.
Right.
I feel like what's happening next episode was later than where we are in the show. But I'm not 100% on that. I'm not even 50% on that.
So you're going and speculating with no memory. I love it.
Well, my memory is shot. I just, you know. It's been a long, however many years. Or it's been a long year.
It's been a long, random, frantic hand gesture.
Yeah. It's just been long. Long what? Long. It is. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to what's coming up. I'm looking forward to seeing how they do everything. Because I do not know. And I think that's great.
That's what I'm most excited for. I love not knowing.
I do like, I don't know, so I mean, that's the thing about why you don't want adaptations to be pure copies. But I do also kind of like knowing. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see this section.
It helps my anxiety. Like, it helps keeps my anxiety in check, but I don't mind flailing around.
Well, what I liked about you never saw Fallout, did you?
No, I still haven't watched it. I'm still too scared. I like it. I love Fallout so much, and I know everybody raves about it, but and I also just like having something to look forward to.
I think the game Fallout, or the type of game Fallout is almost perfect for an adaptation.
I mean, that's a sandbox.
Exactly. And like, you have this whole huge world lore and you don't have to follow like a Vault 101 escapee or whatever, you know, wherever, Vault 76, Vault whatever from the games. You can just be in the world and you're not following a specific storyline. So as long as you nail the world, which I think they did, it's kind of like, it's almost like being in a new story in a new game. Whereas like you are still handcuffed for Last of Us. And you are still handcuffed for Murderbot.
Oh, for sure,
you know? Because there's just so specific stories. So it was kind of like the perfect thing to adapt. And I don't think you can do that for Mass Effect, by the way.
No, well, we need to have a separate Mass Effect, where we just talk about Mass Effect theories of the show. Maybe once The Last of Us is over.
Yeah. Well, when the Last of Murderbot kind of bumps up against Last of Us for about 2 weeks.
Well, then there's a lot to cover.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really sure. I haven't really figured out how we want to do that. We want to, you know, like
save it for the short rest.
And then, you know, or do it right at like okay, and that's the end of this, and I'll just do like a different title card and just be like, and now we're into Murderbot.
Yeah, probably that.
Because I did hear, I don't know if this is true or not, I heard Murderbot's only 30 minutes episodes.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I don't know anything about it, so
I mean, they're off.
I don't know how
it's a bunch of novellas.
Long they would.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed because I want more of things I love, but it also does make sense in a way, because I think there's maybe 2 proper length novels and the rest are novellas and short stories. But they're not long.
Yeah, I think you said that last time.
Season one is the first book or novella, so it's not long. So it makes sense. But yeah. I think that's it for this episode. That's about as long as that's not bad. It's about as long as if you cut all the other chat, like as the episode was. I think that's pretty good. That's better than what we were doing for the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, and I'm done with this level, I think. Yay. I don't know.
See where you're at next level then. Next week, same time, same place.
Bye.